On to episode 26 of the Belleville Sens podcast from the Jack Miller Press Box and Media Center this week. We sent Joel Vanderlaan off on a much-needed vacation, and he will be back for next week's season finale of Season 1 of the pod. Pinch hitting, though, for Joel this week is Alex Smith from our digital team here with the Belleville Sens. You were originally the first member of the Get to Know Your FO team, I guess, and now we've gone through everybody, so we're circling back again.
Yeah, full circle. Great to be back on the pod, buddy.
Yeah, and not a whole lot going on in terms of on-ice news this week, but it's continued to be busy around the office. We're gearing up to get single-game tickets on sale in the next few weeks, and that's meant for some busy times for everybody around the office for the time being, and yourself especially, because we talked again in the springtime, I guess, in the start of our Get to Know Your FO series, and we were kind of talking about the off-season coming for your first full off-season, and following up on your first year with the Belleville Sens. You haven't really had much of a break. It's been the off-season, while it does seem slow, and Joel and I sit here and go, there's not much to talk about this week. It's been pretty steady.
Yeah, you know what? It's always seems like there's some next project that we got to do to kind of prep for the upcoming season. People always ask me kind of what we do in the off season, and it's hard for me to even say. Like, it just seems like there's something new every day, and it's a little bit of everything to kind of put the pieces together for the upcoming season. But no, it's all good stuff that I love doing, and it's obviously going to help make this upcoming season just go well. So
should mention as well, Phil Daou will join us for our player interview this week on the Belleville Sens podcast. We'll catch up with him training up in the Barrie area where he lives, and he is just absolutely amped to get back on the ice after missing pretty well all of last season due to injury. So that's coming up later on in the show this week. Joel and I have been talking a lot about the changes that fans are going to notice and see throughout the organization, but especially here at CAA Arena, and of course on the newly revamped BellevilleSens.com. And you've been kind of the one person that's really had a significant hand in all or most of those changes just from the design side. There's a lot going on that fans are going to notice, I think, when they get to the rink in October.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the website's one of them. That was a definitely much needed piece of our digital side of things that we're excited. It's been a great start to it. Some new pieces that I think our customers and fans are really going to appreciate. Whether just being an easier process of buying tickets, I think that's key for people. And as a consumer, I think it'll be a lot easier to just purchase that ticket and see what options we provide. Got a lot of new things, whether it's our ticket hub, account manager, just an easier access for our season ticket holders, and just a better and easier layout, just easier on the eye. It's a lot more user friendly, and I think we've gotten some great feedback already. So definitely want to give a shout out to the Big Red Bow marketing team and Sarah's team just on helping with the back end and putting this all together. So they've done a great job with that. Yeah,
they have. We're chatting with Sens coordinator of digital marketing, Alex Smith, on episode 27 of the Belleville Sens podcast. Crazy we got that many episodes in, even when we start. Oh, this is episode 26. See, I can't even keep track of my own numbers. So, yeah, it's been a busy summer for sure, doing all of that other stuff, and then still trying to prepare for a hockey season and dealing with the challenge that is not knowing your roster at this time in the season. And again, we talk about this every week, basically on the show, and I know that Sens fans here in Belleville are starting to get used to the dynamic of how the American Hockey League works, and the up and down, and who's going to be here, who's not going to be here. But from our side of things, we're trying to prepare as well, and it usually leads to a bit of a scramble come the end of September to get a lot of that game day stuff done when we find out who's going to be here.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the toughest thing for me with whether it's putting graphics together or just kind of helping promote our team and who's going to be on the ice that first game in October. But I think those will all be answered soon, and we'll have a good roster that we can use to help promote and grow this team. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the pieces come together and see the squad.
You can check out some of those pieces on BellevilleSens.com. Our player tracker is up to date with all the players that could end up here should they not find a spot in Ottawa. And, of course, the guys like Graham McPhee, who we spoke to a couple weeks ago. If you want to go back and check out some old episodes, he'll be here for sure signing an AHL deal. So it is exciting. And part of what you've been doing all summer is the Throwback Thursday clips and things like that. Any of those moments that you've been able to sift through that you kind of either went, oh, man, I forgot about this, or, oh, yeah, that really was a no-brainer to mix that in?
Yeah, I keep forgetting about, obviously, the All-Star game with Igor Sokolov. He was, I'd say, one of the star players in that game. Like, he stood out and obviously made that final goal there to win it. But there's been points, the season goes by so quick, and I think the off-season and these weekly segments are a good time to kind of reflect and look back on those moments and just remind you of how many important parts there were to the season. But obviously a bunch of Kirker goals and really Greg's magic that definitely stand out.
And unfortunately, no highlights there from Phil Daou. That's because he only played a handful of games in the regular season last year before getting injured. The Barrie native and Memorial Cup champ. We'll chat with Joel and I next. We were able to catch up with Phil last week, so you can hear that interview, and then we'll be back again to wrap things up with Alex here on episode 26 of the Belleville Sens podcast. Stay with us on the Belleville Sens Entertainment Network.
Secure your season ticket membership for the upcoming season. The Belleville Senators guaranteed dates for the 2023-24 season are set. Want to guarantee a spot at one of these games? Season seat memberships are on sale now with summer giveaways. Purchase by September 1st and be entered in to win a prize pack. To learn more about purchasing season's tickets, visit their website at BellevilleSens.com or email them tickets@BellevilleSens.com. Guarantee your spot to see the Sens.
You're listening to episode number 26 of the Belleville Sens podcast. David Foote and Joel Vanderlaan here for this interview, at least with Senators forward Phil Daou, who joins us on the line from Barrie, Ontario, the bustling metropolis and the hometown of Phil. And we're glad to have him with us on the show this week. What's going on, Phil? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, guys. And it's been a good summer. It's gone fairly quickly, but I'm itching to get back at it soon.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of at that point in the summer now. We've had our rest, and we're really rared up to go for another season here. And you must be, especially given how last season went. Obviously, getting hurt very early on in the campaign, missing the entire year with that injury. Kind of similar to what Angus Cruikshank went through a couple of seasons ago, but how has the summer been for you so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I spent a lot of time with some family and some friends, but most importantly, I've been in the gym a lot, skating a lot since I missed a full year, trying to be ready to go for next year. But the shoulder feels really good, and I'm just really can't wait to get back at it, go to Ottawa, show what I can do, and go from there.
Yeah, well, we chatted on exit interview day, and at that point you were getting back into to your training pretty regularly. How much further do you feel you've come in the last 3 or 4 months from where you were at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy since the last time we chatted at the exit interviews. I just started skating again, touching pucks a little bit back then, but now I'm able to get some contact and take a couple of hits. So that's been a big jump for me. But the shoulder feels really good, and obviously the strength is coming along really well. And I'm just kind of taking it week by week, just seeing the progress and slowly getting into it. But I feel ready to go for camp coming up soon, and I just can't wait.
You talk about the injury. Have you talked to Angus Crookshank? He missed time, missed a year with an ACL. I know it's a different injury, but have you talked to guys that have missed significant time about how they handled their rehab and then kind of handled the transition getting back into the American Hockey League?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and Crooker, we chatted a lot about it, since he missed a full year a few seasons ago, and just talking about staying positive and little things to just kind of keep getting better every day and doing everything I can to become healthy. And another guy I talked a bunch to was Jonathan Aspero. He had the same surgery as me, and Matthew Boucher did it as well a few years ago, and so I really took a lot of their advice from them, and it really helped out in the long run. Now I feel great and ready to go.
You really put an impressive showing on in the 9 games you were able to get into this year, 7 points. How much stock do you put into that? Just kind of leaning on those type of moments and those type of high pressure situations that you excelled in.
Yeah, I mean, Manor when he was there, he was still around. He gave me a lot of opportunity, and Belsey loved me on the power play. So, I try to take as much advantage of those situations, and I had some pretty good players around me to help me out with the offensive side. But I try to take pride a lot on my defensive game, and I'm still trying to learn on that side of the ice. So. I think that'll come as I get older, and now that with Belsey and Sexy are going to help me a bunch with that next year, hopefully.
Chatting with Sens forward Phil Daou, you mentioned having good players around you, and we've been talking to a handful of guys through the summer about who they skate with in the off season, and there's some pretty notable names in those groups. Anybody that you're skating with that fans might recognize?
Yeah, so I skate with a bunch of pros. I mean, there's a lot of new guys who are just making the jump to the NHL now. I mean, one guy, Isaac Phillips with the Chicago Blackhawks, and Tyler Tucker with the St. Louis Blues. But I've skated a few times with Bo Horvat. He's come out. Ryan O'Reilly, Cal O'Reilly. And once in a while you'll see Mitch Marner sometimes in Muskoka Bay. He skates down there. So there's a lot of pros that are down in my area, and I try to get out there as much as possible with them because you can. I just try to watch as little things as many little things from them, and try to add it to my game. But yeah, so it's been a good summer skating with those kinds of guys.
How much interaction do you have with those guys? Is it mostly just kind of banter as you get dressed, or do you have some pretty pointed, in-depth conversations about the game and your careers and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just banter in the dressing room. Usually, once we get on the ice, it's kind of that time of just grind time, and it usually gets pretty competitive. So, I think most of it is just you just kind of chat about how the past season went, and obviously when I'm on the ice, sometimes I'll ask questions to Bor Horvat on little things, and he is a centerman as well. So I try to kind of take in little tips from him in terms of taking face-offs and stuff like that. So. So it's little conversations like that, but it's nothing too big because I think everyone's there to just get better, and it's kind of a grind. So
you mentioned you're ramping up. Have you heard anything about rookie camp, the rookie showcase? Are you going to be able to play in that event?
yeah, so I've actually been invited to go to that rookie tournament, rookie camp. So I've been cleared for contact and really fully to go. It's been maybe a month now. So I've been just kind of trying to ramp up, taking contact. So I'm fully ready and, fully comfortable getting hit because, at rookie tournament, there's a lot of guys trying to make a showcase for themselves. So, yeah, I'll be ready to go and hopefully I can show my skill like I did last year.
How excited are you to be in that environment? Some of these top prospects, showing what you can do either against them or playing with some guys. I know Tyler Boucher, Zach Ostapchuk are making the push to go pro, and just kind of getting those connections with those guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tournament that we go to in Buffalo every year is a lot of fun. You get to play against a lot of good prospects. Some first, some second rounders, and in my case, I played last year with Bush and Ostapchuk. So those are two really good players, and I can't wait to meet a lot of the new prospects as well. But those are two good players. Just for example, from last year, I played with them, and Robbie was there last year too. So it's a lot of fun playing with those guys and catching up with them after not seeing them all summer. And I mean, they're all talented players, so I think it's a lot of fun and it's very competitive.
How much is that of a benefit for some of the younger guys to play in that tournament before main camp and get their legs under them in such a competitive space?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a pretty big jump between rookie camp and then going to main camp and playing against guys like Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle and Thomas Chabot. There's a pretty big jump. So I think rookie camp definitely makes you kind of ease into it, gets the nerves out slowly, and kind of gets you a feeling of how big the guys are and how much faster the guys are. And I think every year I definitely enjoy going to it just on that focus and. I definitely feel more ready when I go to main camp afterwards.
A few more minutes here with Sens forward Phil Daoust. How much you've been keeping an eye on the moves that Ottawa's been making and the Senators organization as a whole? We've got some pretty good AHL veterans coming in here. Obviously, a couple of names added up in Ottawa that have got the fans excited. What do you think of the moves that have been made so far this summer?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the big club, I think it's been a pretty crazy offseason for them. With DeBrincat heading out, but picking up Kubalik and Tarasenko just recently. I think those are pretty two sick sick ads for them. But if I look at guys who are on two-way contracts, I've heard of Matthew Highmore and Boko Imama. I mean, they both played for my junior team in St. John when they were younger. So I actually saw them for a little bit when I was at the Memorial Cup there. They came in and said a word to us. So, two really good players, obviously, and super excited to meet them. But I think in general, when you look at the organization, they've made some big moves and their moves to try to win. They want to start winning. So, I'm going into this year and ready to go and hopefully, obviously, make the playoffs this year and try to make a run for it.
Does that give you a nice icebreaker at camp? Hey, I won a Memorial Cup too in St. John. That's pretty cool, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to just see them and chat about it with them. And they're two really good guys. I chatted with them a little bit, when I saw them at the Memorial Cup. So, it'll be cool to see some familiar faces and then maybe we get some chemistry going.
Yeah, that's the hope, I think. It's certainly going to be a strong team here this season, and we're looking forward to getting you back in the mix as well. Phil, good luck with the rest of your training this summer and at the rookie camp, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me.
Sends forward Phil Daoust from his home in Barrie. We'll be back on episode number 26 of the Belleville Sens podcast in just a moment. Stay with us.
Enjoy a night out at a Belleville Senators game with your group. The Belleville Senators home opener is set for October 21st, 2023. Group or premium ticket experiences are on sale now. If you purchase soon, you'll be entered to win a special group experience prize. To learn more about group and premium experiences, visit their website at bellevillesens.com or email them tickets@bellevillesens.com. Because there's nothing like seeing the Sens with your friends.
It's a bit of a shortened episode of the Belleville Sens podcast, episode 26. David Foote here with Sens coordinator digital marketing, Alex Smith. Joel Vanderlaan is off this week, enjoying some family time in Philadelphia, checking out the Phillies and the Eagles, and we hope Joel's having a heck of a time. Looking forward to getting him back on the show for next week's finale, as we mentioned earlier on in the program. Thanks to Phil Daoust for his time and to all of the guys who have taken time out of their off-season training to sit down with us through the course of the summer. These guys spend so much time here in Belleville and getting pestered by us throughout the season that I fully expect to be completely ignored when the off-season rolls around, but that's not the case. Our guys are fantastic, and they're doing everything they need to do as well to stay engaged with the fans through the summer months. It's been great.
Yeah, I think that's just as important to them, to be honest, right? Like, keeping engaged with your team and showing the fans that you're still around and you're caring about the team and hearing from them too in the off season. Fans are always curious about what's going on in their when they're back home and stuff like that. So it's good.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. And speaking of that connection with the players and the community, a lot of that community program is going to continue to grow throughout the course of this upcoming season. We launched Belly's Book Club at the Belleville Public Library last week. Again, that program is stretching across 17 libraries between about Cobourg and Napanee or so, and then up into the GTA, the Greater Tweed area as well. So head to BellevilleSens.com and make sure you learn about Belly's Book Club. Plenty of cool things going on there. The school visits are going to start again soon in just a month or so. I know the young fans listening are maybe not so stoked on going back to school, but hey, the Belleville Sens might be by and Belly might be by to visit you throughout the course of the year. So all that stuff we're really looking forward to, and as Joel and I have kind of been promising, that community side of things is going to be extremely accessible through the new BellevilleSens.com. You'll always know what's going on, but it's going to be just that much more in your face is not the right way to put it, but we're going to be out there a whole lot more than we already were last season.
For sure. Yeah, I think the whole kids club in general, everything that entails, and I think the whole setting with that, it's going to be great. People are going to notice us in the community as they have, and we're looking forward to it, and I think the players are just as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Our training camp will open on October the 1st. Players will report that day, and they'll have their medicals and meet the coaching staff and the equipment staff, guys who are new anyway, and then they'll be on the ice starting October 2nd for camp. No preseason games in Belleville this year, and I know that might upset some fans, but we'll be in Toronto and Laval for preseason this year. Our club hosts every year, and Toronto and Laval said, "Why don't you guys take a little break off this year? You guys come to us," so we'll be doing that. And then, of course, the regular season beginning on October 14th. Pennsylvania road trip to start things off. You'll get to make your first trip to Hershey? No.
Second.
Yeah, you were there,
there
the last
year.
time. I was indisposed at the time and forgot about that. Yeah, Alex was in Hershey. And second time to Lehigh then as well, right?
Yep.
Start things off.
Yep.
That'll be a pretty telling, I think, opening series for this club. And then we got about a week off before we play 4 straight at home here to open the home portion. The home opener presented by CAA on October 21st against the rival Laval Rocket, and a lot of good stuff coming up for the home opener as well. Those details will be out in the coming weeks, as will information about single game tickets. We're right around the corner from being able to put those on sale. It's exciting.
Yeah, you know what? That's always a key piece, I think, for those fans who just have those particular games they want to come out to. Single game tickets going live is something you want to jump on. So that's coming up, and then again, our open house that I think we'll touch on as well. Yeah.
Lastly, on the ticketing piece, the promotional calendar will be coming out in the next couple weeks as well.
Yep.
More than 24 promo games of the 36 that we're going to have here in the building. So there's almost always going to be something other than hockey going on here at CAA Arena. More than one reason to come out and check the action out. Alex mentioned it. We're holding an open house from 2 to 5 p.m. on Friday. Would be August 25th. That's tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening. You can email tickets at BellevilleSens.com to book a time slot, get in and chat with one of our ticketing team members, and a good opportunity to take a walk around the rink, pick a spot that you like that might fit either for that one game or a few games or perhaps more than that. And the ice is freshly painted. Hockey is right around the corner. So between 2 and 5, that open house on August 25th, a great chance to get in and get your hands on some seats for the upcoming season. And again, meet the ticketing team as well, because excuse me, as we've been saying, we're back to full strength now. We have over a dozen people in the office. The ticketing team is about as big as it's ever been, and everybody's really looking forward to seeing fans again and getting things going at full strength.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect time. I love these kind of open houses, right? Like, they give you the opportunity to kind of see the arena and see things before the season starts, and we've got so many new additions to the team as well to the arena, just our new signage and our freshly sheet of ice that was just put in. So it's a good time to kind get it behind the scenes and see what's to come for the upcoming season.
It's not long now until puck drops on the 23-24 season, so yeah, tickets at BellevilleSens.com. If you need more info, or just head over to the website, take a browse around yourself, and see what you can find in terms of getting set for hockey in the upcoming campaign. Thanks again to Alex Smith for pinch hitting for Joel this week. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Joel will be back next week. Make sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening so you don't miss that season finale, and give us a rating and a review as well. That'd be fantastic. Thanks again to Phil Daou and to you for listening. David Foote signing off on episode 26 of the Belleville Sens podcast.